latest immigration news, latest breaking news when it comes to immigration. We want to dive right into it. We want to catch up with couple news for the past 2 weeks, at least the most important one. Okay, the first one is you have to pay the fees for I-589 application for asylum. If you have an application for asylum pending with the court, you have to pay the fees. There is a portal where you can pay the fees online. If you Google it, EUR payment portal, and you scroll down a little bit where it says I-589 application fees, and it actually says initial fees, but that's the only one we have as an option. Just pay under that, and eventually they're gonna update the website to mention annual fees. And the reason you want to pay it by tomorrow, September 30th, is because tomorrow is the last day of the fiscal calendar year, September 30th. So you want to make sure that you pay those fees and you notify the court that you have paid the fee. If you have a lawyer, just have your lawyer do it for you. If you don't have a lawyer and you're filing pro se, you really have to serve the court and DHS, which is ICE. Okay. If you live closer to a court, just bring your receipt there, because you pro se, you can file window filing, and you can make sure that they actually receive it and they'll make a stamp on it. So you have to pay those fees. That's just that. If your case, however, is pending with USCIS, what USCIS is saying that they are going to send letters, okay, with the amount and I guess the deadline to pay and where to pay. You're gonna actually receive a letter. When that's, I don't know. The most important thing is to actually call them to find out when they're gonna send the letter, and to make sure too that your address is current with them, so that you don't miss the letter. If you fail to pay those fees, what's gonna happen is the application for asylum will be pre-terminated and the person will be ordered removed. That's just end of the conversation. What they're trying to do here, basically, they're trying to prevent a lot of people from being heard for their asylum cases. That's why you really have to pay those fees. Just make sure you pay, especially when you're in court by tomorrow. You just have to pay the fees. That's it. That's the first news. And if the application is pre-terminated, the person is ordered removed, reopening a case, paying for motion to reopen, those motion to reopen, the cases are even expensive. Or appeal is almost 1,010. 1,010. Motion to reopen. How much is motion to reopen? Appeal is 1,010. Motion to reopen could be, it says, almost $900. Okay, so motion to reconsider 1,445. Okay, motion to, yeah. So everything is expensive now. So just pay the fees so you don't have to pay for motion to reopen. Between paying 1,100 now and paying 1,000 and more later, the truth is very clear. Moving along, what else we have as a news? The naturalization test application for naturalization is getting difficult. Okay, USCIS will change the citizenship civics test to the 2025 version, which will now have 128 questions. Okay, and the person is required to pass at least 12 questions, and not to mention, if you file your citizenship application before October 20th, 2025, the previous test is still applicable. After October 20th, then they're gonna go with the 2025 version. And sometimes they get confused what you file when and they doing what. Just be prepared, just in case. But anyway, it's going to get harder. Remember, they have a new requirement as well. They're gonna check good moral character broadly, in terms of even calling your neighbors to find out about your behavior, looking at your employment history, a lot of things just to undermine your petition. So when you're filing for naturalization nowadays, you really have to pay too much close attention. And the other news is that nowadays too, they're calling for marriage petitions, they're actually calling landlords to find out if the person in question lives there. If you claim that the spouse lives there, they can call the actual landlord to find out, to inquire, especially if your case raises a lot of doubt. Something to just keep in mind. That's the second news. The third news is that there's a new executive order that has been signed by the president, President Trump, that will require H-1B employer to pay at least $100,000 for each H-1B employee. This annual fee that is required to be paid before the employee is admitted into the country. This is not applicable for H-1B visa holders who are already present in the country, okay? It's effective from September 21st, 2025, and only applicable to petitions that have not been filed yet as of that date. Well, I don't know if this one is going to, basically the goal here is to discourage employers to actually petition for a non-US citizen who are outside of the country. They're really trying to encourage them to petition for those type of individuals. If they have to pay $100,000 per employee, that's a lot of money for the employer. But anyway, that's the third news. What else we have here? And we already talked about VAWA petitioner traveling outside of the United States on advance parole or having some type of trouble re-entering the country, okay? If it's not a matter of death or life, just refrain from it. If you're on advance parole with VAWA case pending, yeah, just not worth it in terms of if it's really not a matter of death, okay? That's the fourth news, I believe, right? Let's check here and see if we have some other. There has been a lot of adult death reported in detention centers, and as you might be aware, there was a shooting at some ICE facility too. Things are just pretty much not good. And then there's a USCIS policy that is terminating DACA for recipients who attempt to purchase firearm. If you are a DACA recipient and you're trying to buy a gun or attempted to buy a gun, they are going to terminate your DACA. Just stay out of politics or anything like that. And then there's Syria TPS. What are they saying here? They're saying USCIS website updated for Syria TPS. TPS for Syria, it continues until November 21st, 2025, okay? That's it. After that is how, you know how they have the 60 days extension period, right? So TPS is effective until November 21st, 2025. That's TPS for Syria. What else we have here? The visa bulletin, by the way, this time around, the visa bulletin is good in terms of movement for employment base, especially in national interest waiver category. Just go ahead and check out the visa bulletin. That's a good news, at least. Okay, what else we have here? And the last thing is the Trump gold card, green card, whatever that is going to be available. Okay, this is the okay, it says that the president signed an executive order announcing the gold card, a new visa program. To be eligible, a person must make an unrestricted gift of $1 million to the Department of Commerce, or $2 million. Okay. The gold card, the purpose, the way I actually understood it, basically it's kind of like a premium processing. I don't know if they're gonna create a new category of visa, because there's no category of visa that actually requires a person to pay $1 million to get a green card. So this looks like it's a premium processing. Yeah, it looks like it's a premium processing. That's how I see it. I don't see anything that it's a lot of risk involved. What if you don't get approved? Then your $1 million, you have to really have a lot of money to do this. But anyway, that's what's going on. Overall, that's it, right? And we have a great news, because we have an employer religious petition approved. That's a great news for us. And then we have a couple work permits approved. Might talk about it in another video, but this is it for now. At least for now, those are the major breaking news. Let me see if I have one more to add. Let me see. I'm looking here on my computer. I just want to see if I have more news to add. Okay. Yeah, there's a lawsuit against ICE. Yeah, because of a lot of things that's going on. The deaths, people are dying in detention centers, people being there's been a lot of shootings. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So anyway, I guess that's the latest. That's it for today, right? If we have more news, I'll come back. But this is the main one, is about the fees for asylum applicant, and the other one is that if you're applying for US citizenship, you really have to be prepared, because nowadays it's getting harder. And then we talked about, you know, H1B. That's really for the employer, but the employee must be aware of that too. Therefore, if you are on H1B, don't travel outside, because in order for you to re-enter, then the employer has to file to pay them $100,000, which I don't think they're willing to do that. Don't just travel if you're on H1B until you transition to a green card. What else? Yeah, if you miss anything, just start from the beginning. Thank you very much for being patient while I gather all those news. Until next time, bye-bye. If you need a consultation, by the way, just schedule it. All my links are in the description box. Until next time, bye-bye.